What is going on, everybody? Xaenca here, back once again with another video just for you. Friendly reminder as always, if you do end up enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Well, Blizzard, the hits just keep on coming, don't they? Not too long ago, we talked about the Warcraft 3 Reforged epic fail of a launch and everything that went wrong after that. Well, I mean, everything that Blizzard did wrong after that. If you want to check it out, the link is on the screen as well as in the description down below, but to quickly summarize, Blizzard failed to deliver on what they promised. They did a whole bunch of shady shit after, which earned them the honor of having the worst user-rated video game in the history of Metacritic. So yeah, things have not been looking good for Blizzard at all. I mean, they haven't even made a full recovery from the Diablo Immortal fiasco, really. And then now, they have this shit to deal with. Now, it's no secret that the fanbase is sick of their shit, right? I mean, they just keep bleeding their fanbase dry, really, with failure after failure, but it's another thing entirely when a media outlet turns on the company as well. And the reason why I say this is that similar to the movie industry where film reviewers are afraid of going too hard on movies, usually very specific ones like by Disney or so on, in fear of losing their press passes and access to early screenings, video game review sites are pretty much the same way. They don't want to attack the companies too hard in fear of losing their review copy privileges, so they won't get the games earlier than anybody else, therefore they won't have reviews before anybody else. And ultimately that leads to lost revenue, and that's why IGN reviews are pretty much a meme. Like, do any of you remember when Fallout 4 released and how many bugs there were in that game? A lot of it was like unplayable, but IGN gave it a 9.5 of course because it's Bethesda and you don't want to piss Bethesda off, so just list bugs in the cons but give it a near perfect score. And most outlets that were in Bethesda's pockets essentially gave it a near perfect score. Now, one such outlet that decided to call out Fallout 4 for its bugs, I think, was Giant Bomb. Jeff Gerstmann specifically gave the PC version of Fallout 4 a 4 out of 5, and the Xbox One and PS4, the console versions, a 3 out of 5 because it did not run nearly as well, and he was calling it basically like a technical mess, which it was. But of course, if you're a shill media reviewing outlet, that is not what Bethesda is paying you to say, goddammit. It doesn't matter how broken we release our goddamn games, 9 out of 10 at least. Meg Turney and company from Rooster Teeth at the time decided to go all out and criticize Jeff Gerstmann. How dare you give such low scores to such a masterpiece?
Okay, so I have a bone to pick, and it's people who review low, because I feel like people do that to be like, we're different.
Yeah.
Everybody gave Fallout 4 90s and up 70.
Yeah.
Like, you're not different or special just because you review a game low.
Look, we have legitimate things to say, and if we don't rate it low, you won't know how legitimate they are.
Yeah, nobody will come to our site to look at it.
No,
Like,
totally
another
agree. I feel
90, whatever.
Yeah, people, especially before the game came out, people were jumping on like that negative bandwagon, which is why one of the first things I started talking about this episode was I feel like the bugs and the negativity is really overblown. Like people are like, and that's like what people are making a stand on to try to stand out like, oh, well, we're different. We have a more keen eye than the average reviewer. Like people were jizzing all over Jeff Gerstmann and Giant Bomb because they like called out all the problems in the game.
They were like, it's a technical mess.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thank you, Jeff Gerstmann, for keeping it real.
We sipped
so
wine and
real.
ate cheese on crackers as we wrote our review.
Yes,
Yeah.
on my
Brilliant.
Mixler.
Who cares if the game has bugs? It's Bethesda, goddammit. 9 out of 10 only. 3 out of 5, how dare you, sir? But do you see how ridiculous it is how attached these media outlets are to the companies that give them their review copies? Like, not only will they have only good things to say regardless of how many bugs your games have, but they will even go out of their way to attack people who might not think the same, or weren't paid as much to say the same at least. So knowing how hard these media outlets usually shill for these gaming companies, I was quite surprised when I found out former IGN employees decided to attack Blizzard. And that's when you know things have really gotten bad for this company, when even their shills decide to go after them. Jessica Chobot, known for her work as the presenter of IGN Daily Fix and Nerdist News, was co-hosting the 23rd edition of the D.I.C.E Awards with Greg Miller last night. the D.I.C.E Awards being a video game industry awards show and Greg Miller being a former IGN host. He split off from IGN a few years ago to do his own thing. I think he started Kinda Funny, that YouTube channel. So yeah, former IGN employee doing his own thing now. As they both took the stage to introduce the various games and nominees of the night, Chobot didn't pass up the chance to take a shot of Blizzard's Warcraft 3 Reforged. So let's see what Jessica and Greg had to say on the matter.
All right, so Telling Lies is nominated tonight. Have you played Telling Lies?
Of course.
All right. It's about Blizzard making Warcraft 3 Reforged. I'm sorry, I can't hear you over the sound of Blizzard censoring everybody. Too much? Too much?
No, just enough.
Just enough.
No, you did it right.
Thank you.
Of course, everybody free Hong Kong.
Jesus Christ, those were shots fired. Those were some heavy-ass shots fired. So they were both making references to Blitzchung and the OK hand symbol guy that were both censored and banned by Blizzard. Blitzchung, of course, saying free Hong Kong during the Hong Kong protests, and that's what Greg Miller was talking about, and just, I can't hear you over the sound of Blizzard censoring everybody. And Telling Lies, the making of Warcraft 3 Reforged. Jesus Christ, it's so good. Now, I know Jessica Chobot no longer works with IGN, and she announced back in August that she's no longer working with Nerdist News either. But I don't know if she has any plans to work with any other, major video game outlet like this. Because this is one of those type of things that might limit who you can work with moving forward. You know what I mean? If anybody hires her, Blizzard would be like, oh, so you hired that one, huh? Well, time to get blocked, cause Activision Blizzard, baby. So fair play to Jessica Chobot and Greg Miller from Kinda Funny Games. But that's going to be all for this one. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. If you did end up enjoying this video, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends, family, whoever you think would be interested in nonsense like this. If you're new around here, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and click all so you can always be alerted every time I put out another one of these carne asada fries. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.